Chris Lee, the creative director at Halo Infinite, decided to step down from his role on Halo Infinite. He's still with Microsoft, but he is no longer working on Halo Infinite. This is what he had to say. I have stepped back from Infinite and I am looking at future opportunities. I believe in the team and am confident they will deliver a great game, and now is a good time for me to step away, end quote. This one's hard because Halo is my third favorite franchise, and there was a lot of feelings going through my head as I learned about this news. There's a couple of ways I can go about this topic. I could be super optimistic, understanding that if he stepped away, perhaps it's good for the team. I could be super pessimistic and go, well, he stepped away from the team, so this game is just doomed. It's going to be complete garbage, and it'll just never live up to any expectation. But I'm going to be real. I feel like that's my responsibility to you with this kind of news. You got to have sober thinking about this. And based on the history of 343, I would highly suggest you lower your hype, lower your expectations. I don't think Halo Infinite will be a trash heap, but Halo Infinite will not be a good game at launch. I think that's a realistic and sober statement to say. At this point, Halo Infinite will not be a good game at launch. There's just too much compounding evidence against 343 to suggest otherwise. There's clearly problems up top. Multiple high-level developers at 343 have left this particular project. They didn't leave the Master Chief Collection project. They didn't leave Halo 5 Guardians. They didn't leave Halo 4. They've left Halo Infinite. Something about Halo Infinite has driven top developers away from the project. I don't know if it's pressure. I don't know what it is. It could be pressure. It could be pressure from up top, from Phil Spencer or Bonnie Ross. It could be the overwhelming pressure from fans to make sure that this game is good, to make sure that they get it right. It could be a number of things, but regardless of the reason, somewhere up top, it's not working. Because we've seen time and time again, 343 has not handled Halo launches well at all. Halo 4, multiplayer was a mess. It was not good, mostly because it strayed away from the fundamentals of what made Bungie's Halo so good. They kind of wanted to take it in their own direction, and I get creative freedom, and I respect creative freedom, but it didn't feel like the soul of Halo was there anymore. That's debatable. That's fine, but I think if you talk to most Halo fans, that's how they feel about Halo 4. Halo 5 Guardians was just straight up missing modes. It was missing modes. It had a broken theater system. Microtransactions were jacked up. There was a lot of different things Halo 5 Guardians just didn't have. That's 343's version of launching a Halo game. That's not what people wanted or expected. And then you have the Master Chief Collection, which I think is a phenomenal project. I think it is one of the most underrated and probably one of the most difficult projects any developer has ever had to do, taking Halo games from different generations and putting them in one package and making them work together, all in one like seamless playlist type of thing. It was an incredible project to undertake. But they launched it, and you could spend 1 hour trying to get into a multiplayer match. Sometimes matchmaking with people for campaign didn't work. Bugs, all that stuff. It was an atrocious launch. They've gotten together now. I feel like if you're a Halo fan, you have to have the Master Chief Collection at this point. But when it launched, which is the focus of this conversation, when it launched, it was not good. 343 has an incredible ability to fix things. They put things out there, and then the people get their hands on it, and they make their criticisms, complaints, accusations, whatever the case may be, And 343 is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal at making those changes and making a better game. They are good at fixing what is broken, but they have a hard time releasing something that's not already damaged in some way. This is the history of 343. I don't take pleasure in saying this. I do not take pleasure in saying this about any developer, but this is the realistic history of 343. And based on that history, based on the way this development has gone down, I cannot say all of this has been happening because 343 is doing a fantastic job with the development of Halo Infinite. Clearly, they've been trying to make sure it launches better, but still, there's problems. And there continues to be problems now with Chris Lee leaving the development. What else are we left to think at this point? Halo Infinite will not be great at launch. I'm not saying it's going to be a trash heap. I'm not saying it's going to be unplayable. I'm not saying it's going to be like the Master Chief Collection. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying, though, is based on the history of 343, based on the development of what's been happening right now, Halo Infinite will not be good at launch. Lower your expectations. Now, based on history also, since Halo Infinite will likely not be good at launch, over time, Halo Infinite's going to be a must-buy game based on what the evidence we've seen out of 343. They launched something that's not so great, but they're so good at fixing it and making it better. That's when we will see Halo Infinite take off in the way probably Microsoft wants it to take off. It seems like it's going to be a very much a Destiny type of game, and that's cool. But even Destiny launched. Kind of rocky there. Granted, it wasn't the Master Chief Collection. And granted, to credit of 343, Halo 4 worked. Halo 5 worked. But it just wasn't the masterclass of Halo that people were looking for. Am I saying it will never be good? No, I'm not saying that at all. It can still be good. In fact, there's evidence it could still be good at launch. But that evidence can only happen if they delay the game longer than a year. Now you might say, oh man, they'll miss the anniversary next year. So what? So freaking what? Miss the anniversary. That won't matter if Halo Infinite turns out to be phenomenal. People will not care about that. What people will care about is you launch on the anniversary and it's subpar. I feel like they just need more time to iron out whatever issues there are. We don't even know. We know the graphic stuff, but the graphic stuff, that could be fixed. I feel like that should be the least of our worries. I'm not saying graphics is easy. I'm not saying graphic design is easy in that way. I'm just saying that's probably the least of the worries. We have no idea what the multiplayer is like. We have no idea what this open world Halo is like. Then let me point that out. This is an entirely different style of Halo. So not only are they releasing a brand new Halo for a brand new console, it's got a brand new mission structure. It's open world. So now there's new challenges that 343 has to overcome, and they could barely get the basic challenges down with Halo 4 and Halo 5 Guardians. You understand what I'm saying? That's what makes this so worrisome. And that's why I say lower your expectations. Don't expect much out of Halo Infinite when it launches, particularly if it launches next year. Honestly, they should probably just delay it until it is absolutely where they want it. Because if they release it when it is where they want it, it doesn't matter how long the wait was. It will be worth it. I mean, I get it. Like, you don't want to wait too long. Like, Microsoft has been advertising this thing like crazy. It's on the box art. It's in all the advertisements. I get it. It's cool. But even Nintendo had games on their box art that weren't out yet, that were coming. They get it. But it's okay. When those games came out, guess what? They were fun. They were good. That's all that matters. Yes, we have to exercise some patience. Yes, we don't really want to play Halo 5 Guardians forever or the Master Chief Collection forever. I get it. I'm with you. I am ready for a new Halo. But you know what I'm not ready for? A new subpar Halo. Give me good Halo. Give me a fun, new, challenging, and competitive Halo. That's what I'm looking for. Unfortunately, though, the hope that this game can be good doesn't dismiss that it will likely not be good at launch. What do you think the creative director leaving the Halo Infinite project means for the game? When do you think the game will launch? Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. Please smack that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video. Also, if you were not aware, we have unboxed the Xbox Series X and shown some great close-up details of the console. So check that out if you haven't. And don't forget to subscribe to get more exciting games coverage, tons of gameplay videos, and insight and perspectives on the latest gaming news. My name is Anthony. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later.